Now today, the Syrian and the Russian air forces are bombing areas controlled by rebels in the northwest of Syria. It comes after those rebels, led by the militant group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, launched an incursion and captured territory in the province of Aleppo for the first time in years. Our terrorism expert, Wassim Nasr, is here with us in the studio to tell us more about this. Look, Wassim, first of all, help us understand this story. What area of Syria are we talking about here, and what is it so far that's actually happened?
The most significant part of it is that those fronts were freezed since like 5 years. And here we see it on a map. What's in green is rebel-held areas, HTS areas, red regime areas, and in blue, the evolution of the rebels' attack headed by HTS since like a little bit more than 24 hours, meaning yesterday. And we know that a few hours ago, they captured the town of Saraqib that we see south on the M5 highway, and the other town next to Aleppo, which is very important since in 5 years they didn't make any advancement on those borders. We have footage to prove that they made those advances. The first video was this one from Kaptan al-Jabal, where we see them coming into the town with the bulldozer. So after the beginning of the attack, yesterday morning, we have another video at night yesterday on the outskirts of Saraqib that was taken today. And here's a Russian-made tank that was modified by HTS to make it a troops carrier, actually. And we have another footage from this morning from Jubas. Here it is, proving that they took the town, and another video too from the town of Urem from this morning at dawn too, where we see them roaming in the town, and another video from Badis, which is on the outskirts of Saraqib, which was taken since, and we see them here preparing the attack on the town of Saraqib that we just saw on the map. And Saraqib is a very important hub on the highway, and de facto they cut the highway between Aleppo and Damascus since this morning.
And what for you is particularly interesting or noteworthy about what we're seeing?
Well, the most interesting thing is that they took the regiment 46, which is, we have a video of it, which is a base of Liwa al-Quds, which are Palestinians pro-Damascus, but also a hub of the IRGC. And this is very important since they took it. But another technical thing which is important is the use of drones made or fabricated by HTS, and here it is. It's a very, the drone is a very big explosion that's going to happen, meaning they master the technology of fabricating those drones, and they claim it, since we saw them before using them in Homs, but they never claimed it before. And we're going to see also them using small drones here against a T-72 tank of the regime, of the Syrian army, meaning small drones dropping grenades. What we saw earlier is an explosive drone. And for the first time also, we're going to see it in a video, they issued something showing their drone capacity. And here it is. And we see that those manufacturing of this kind of drones, or even modifying civilian drones into a military asset, here's the town of Aleppo, began actually in Syria in 2014. And here we see the outcome of all this effort, which we saw also in Ukraine and in other places. Another important thing is that we saw that they killed a Russian operative. We don't know. Here's his car. We don't know if he's a mercenary or if he's a regular Russian soldier. We have a picture of him on the ground after getting killed, and this is a picture of his arm. This is an anti-drone arm fabricated by the Russians, meaning that all parties in Syria know that the drone factor is a very important asset for either one or the other groups in this kind of warfare.
And Wassim, look, when we think about the war in Syria, many people will remember that this all began all the way back with the Arab Spring in 2011. It was then this long, brutal civil war. Much of the violence, though, has ebbed away over the past few years. Why then are we seeing this resurgence of violence now in Aleppo?
Well, there are many factors, and the three main factors, in my opinion, and especially the push towards Saraqib, and we have a new footage about the push into Saraqib, and here it is, and it also reminds us of the modus operandi of the beginning of the war that you were mentioning. Here, entering this facility next to Saraqib, there are three main factors, meaning that we talked here about the Israeli hitting Saraqib, which was used by Iranian as a hub. that happened a few days ago. And we saw also that the Turkish President Erdogan didn't reach any agreement with President Assad despite his various attempts. So HTS saw an opportunity to push back on the Syrian army and on Iranian loyalist militias that were bombing Idlib and its outskirts on daily basis. They never stopped, actually. And so this is a way for them to push them back behind the M5, to cut the M5, which would give them leverage in any upcoming negotiations. But also, and most importantly, it's to calm down the population that is living in Idlib and is calling on HTS to do something to stop bombing the areas, either by drones or by the Syrian artillery. So there's many facets for this issue, but actually it was the opportunity that made it happen, and it's still ongoing. It did not stop yet. We'll see what will be the end game of this offensive that started yesterday morning.
All right. Well, for the moment, Wassim, thank you very much indeed. Do come in and talk to us again when you have more developments coming out of Aleppo province.